my Subscriblings, and welcome to another Speedpaint video. Now this one, just a heads up, is going to be a bit different from my other Speedpaint videos because this one is not going to be me doing one full piece of art. That'll come at the end. Instead, this is going to be showing you the process of me redesigning the Powerpuff Girls for the Good Girl remake animation that I am currently working on. Because the animation is actually going to be very different from the original. So, to start out, I wanted to do Bubbles, just simply because she's my favorite Powerpuff Girl, and I kind of already had an idea for what I wanted for her. Just as a heads up, the reason why I'm doing this is because this new animation that I am working on actually takes place when the girls are in high school. So I figured since they're in high school, they probably have ventured out a bit into becoming individuals instead of sticking to, wearing the same style dresses every day. So I wanted to play around with that idea, and I definitely wanted to try to keep, the girls' signature styles. So for Bubbles, I wanted to try to, stick with her typical pigtails, but I wanted to see what it would look like if she had pigtails but different styles. So the first one's just longer pigtails, the second one are space buns, third one is pigtails but down, and then the fourth one was pigtails but braided, which I really liked the way all of these look. It kind of, you could still tell it was Bubbles, but a little bit older. Now, outfit-wise, I wanted to stick to something that showed off Bubbles' more childish, happy-go-lucky, and bubbly personality. So the first one you see is just a simple shirt with kind of like an overall skirt. The second one here is just a simple sundress. The third one is an oversized sweater with shorts, and then as you'll see in a moment, knee-high socks and just some simple sneakers that I kind of visualized as being more just like Converses, which is also another fun thing that I had when redesigning the girls here, is playing around with different shoe ideas, because we only ever really see them with, their slip-ons, and then with the Rowdy Ruff Boys, we see them with the sneakers. So I definitely had fun kind of seeing what other shoe styles there were. And with the fourth one here, I just decided to go with a simple overall outfit just because personally I really like overalls. I think they're nice. I think it's a cute style and it's an easy style. So I liked the way that the overall skirt looked on her, so I wanted to see what full-on overalls would look like. Now, for Buttercup, I did a similar thing where I decided I wanted to try 4 different hairstyles and 4 different outfits, and I figured in high school Buttercup would probably be more of the jock, the tough girl, so I wanted to play around with those different styles just to kind of see, because Buttercup honestly I feel could have gone in 2 different directions. She could have gone either in the emo goth type of direction, or could have gone into the jock direction. So I wanted to play around with those 2 ideas, which was kind of hard because it made it a difficult decision for me to have to make to try to figure out which one I wanted to really explore. And her hair also was kind of difficult to figure out for redesigning, because I wasn't entirely sure. I wanted to keep her hair short just because that was kind of, her signature, but it was kind of hard for me to redesign it into a way that didn't look exactly like her original hairstyle in the show, but also looked similar enough to where you could tell that it was supposed to be Buttercup. So as you can see, I've kind of got a few ideas here. The first one is closer to her original style of hair. I just added kind of an extra swoosh. The second one was supposed to be more of a pixie cut, but with it gelled up. The third one, I wanted to see what she would look like with longer hair, and wasn't my favorite at all. And then the fourth one is more of a shorter pixie cut, but down. And so for the first idea, I wanted to play around with that kind of goth emo punk type outfit. I thought it was interesting. It was fun to see Buttercup in an outfit like that. The second one, I went with the more jock route, which was the Letterman jacket, jeans, and sneakers. And then for the third outfit, I just went with a simple hoodie and some shorts, and then some sneakers as well, just to kind of like venture away from more of the jock and punk and just kind of go to a more tomboy style. And then for the fourth one, I really went like a different route. It was more of supposed to be kind of like, I guess, a skater look. It was a long sleeve shirt and just a hat and shorts, but I decided to add another hat to the jock style just to see what that would look like with her. And then for Blossom, she was another interesting one. There was kind of one route that I knew I wanted to take with her, kind of like Bubbles. I knew I wanted her to be more of the nerdy type of know-it-all, I suppose, style. And I wanted to play around with like different areas and I guess like different maturity with these outfits. So the first one is just a simple sweater with a button up underneath and then a pencil skirt. And then the second one is a more professional look and a more mature look with a padded jacket and then some nice pants and shoes. The second one was just a simple dress with a shirt underneath it. And the fourth one was like a tank top with a cardigan and some like leggings. And that's pretty much where I went with Blossom, just because I didn't know that, like, I figured Blossom would be fashionable, but like that wouldn't be her main concern in school, you know. And with hair, she was interesting as well, because I knew I wanted to keep the bow, but I didn't quite want to just have her simple hair pulled back like it is in the original. So that was another interesting one, kind of like Buttercup, to try to figure out how to make it different but also similar. So I went with several different styles, with it being either in a ponytail or in a bun, or keeping it the same, or even just doing the braid like you see here with a little bow tied at the bottom. Now here is where you'll see the designs that I ended up going with for all three of them. Now this is still subject to change, just because, you know, I may change my mind by the time I actually get to the point of animating them. I've already started, but I haven't gotten to parts where Bubbles and Buttercup come in, so you may see their designs change in the final animation. Who knows? But for now, for Bubbles, I decided to go with that oversized sweater and shorts with the knee-high socks and the sneakers, just because I thought that was a super cute style to go with for her. I figured it was very childish, but also kind of stylish, and it would work well for her. Now you may be wondering why I decided to redesign the girls in the first place, because if you have seen the original animation that I've done, it doesn't involve Bubbles or Buttercup really at all. It's just focused on Blossom and Brick. Well, for this animation, I decided I wanted to push myself a little further, and I wanted to do an actual story with the song instead of animating the song word for word. So in the animation, I'll give a little bit of information, but not too much. I think I had mentioned before that in this animation, the girls are actually in high school. And so I figured that being in high school, again, they'd probably be venturing out into their own styles and trying to become their own person. So I wanted to redesign them in a way that I felt they would dress in high school based on their personalities. Now, Buttercup was a really hard choice to make because I really liked the more punk style, but I also really liked the jock style. So, as you will see, I ended up going with the jock style, and thanks to my sister, she helped me make that decision. Just because we figured that would fit her personality more in high school. She'd probably be on several sports teams and less of punk. I feel like she could still be punk, but, you know, this is what we went with. I will say, after making this video, it made me realize just how much I have missed drawing the Powerpuff Girls, because if you look through my channel, there was a point in time where a lot of the speed paints that I was doing was Powerpuff Girl related and in the style of the Powerpuff Girls, and I eventually just kind of moved on from that style, I suppose. I wanted to try to find my own style and do my own things, and so I never really drew in the Powerpuff Girl style after that. But there's something so sweet about, like, going back to your roots and kind of where you started with art, and doing this definitely, it made me so happy. And I feel like that's just what you gotta do sometimes, is just go back to your root of drawing and just enjoy it. Because I definitely am the type of person who will stress myself out over drawing, which is probably why, you know, I've gone away from posting as many speed paints as I used to in the past. Now, back to the Powerpuff Girls. With Blossom, I ended up going with the sweater with the pencil skirt and, like, the button up underneath, just because I liked the one with, like, the shoulder padded jacket, I guess the blazer, and then, like, the nice pants, but it felt too old for her. Like, I feel like that would be something she would wear her senior year, whereas I imagine this video taking place their freshman year of high school, so I wanted to go with something that was still fairly mature, but not as mature. So it still kind of, like, shows her scholarly personality, while still showing that she's still, you know, a teenager and not an adult. And with the hair, I ended up going with the ponytail, which is kind of hard to portray just because you don't really see much of, like, the top to show that it's a ponytail. If I didn't have that little part at the top, it would really just look like her original hairstyle. But there we have it. Thank you for watching, and I'll keep you guys updated with more. Bye!